Arsenal host an in-form Manchester United tomorrow at the Emirates as part of a double-header on Super Sunday at 4:30, and I'm nervous for the game, as I am with most big games for Arsenal, especially this year though, because of how important nearly every single game is, and that's a good thing to an extent. I mean, we're in a title race, clearly, we're top of the league with 8 points.
You are fake news, sir.
So I think there's grounds for us to be in the title race. And obviously Casemiro being suspended is massive. I really do believe that that's going to play a massive, massive part tomorrow. But I'm worried a little bit about the attacking side. Like, I'm not saying our defence has been troubled yet, but we haven't faced a Haaland. We haven't faced a proper striker. I'm not saying, Wout Weghorst isn't, the proper striker that everyone thinks he is. In my opinion, I think he's a good man for a press, but I just don't think he's going to provide as many goals as Man United fans hope and want, really. But Marcus Rashford is obviously a massive threat. Bruno Fernandes is just obviously a threat. He's just always a threat, really. He was brilliant against us in the reverse fixture in Old Trafford, where we lost 3-1. Anthony, of course, as well, with contributing to a goal there as well, or two. Did he score two? I think he only scored two. Maybe one. But anyway, my point still stands. I think that's a very good attack that United have. And their midfield, look, Eriksen speaks for himself. I'm saying it quietly, I do like Christian Eriksen. I think he's got a great story behind him. I think he's just such a good player, and I didn't like him obviously because he was a big Spurs player. He went to Brentford obviously after what happened at the Euros, and just showed us all why he's so good, and he's shown United now at an even bigger level, which is, it's good to see, but maybe not for us. Obviously, as I said, Casemiro being suspended is a massive, massive thing. I think having to choose between Fred and McTominay to replace him is going to be a place where we can exploit. And looking at the back, Martinez and Varane more than likely going to play centre-back, or even if he's injured, you'd have to play Lindelof. And again, there are weaknesses to all three of those centre-backs' game. I think just Lindelof playing in general, I've never really rated him, to be honest. Varane is obviously like a proven centre-back, but he does have some weaknesses in his game. Same with Martinez. Look, the height thing is, people make fun of that, but like, the guy's a World Cup. Is he a World Cup? He's a World Cup winner, sorry. And he's more than proven himself, in my opinion, that he is a top centre-back. But at full-backs, we have Saka and Martinelli, and they have, Shaw and Dalot. And 9 times out of 10, if you're going to race those two against Dalot and Shaw, Martinelli and Saka are going to win that race 9 times out of 10. And I think that's a big, big part of what's going to happen tomorrow. I think those two battles are going to be really important. I think, look, Nketiah, if he gets on the end of a cross, good for him. But I think his work is nearly similar to Weghorst, and it is just to kind of press and hold up the play and maybe interlink with the play. It was the same with Jesus, really, before he was injured, to be honest. And Weghorst obviously is bigger and stronger than Nketiah. But Nketiah, in my opinion, has filled Jesus' shoes fantastically. Again, not contributing as much maybe as you'd like scoring wise, but for the false nine kind of that he has become, he's done well. I think he's done brilliantly well. And finally Arsenal have some depth. You know what I mean? We have Trossard now on the bench. We have Vieira, Smith Rowe. If we need to get a centre back on, we have Holding, who's fantastic. He's always been very solid off the bench, Rob Holding. If Zinchenko starts, we have Tierney. If Tierney starts, we have Zinchenko. Tomiyasu. These are players that we can rely on. And I think it's the first time in a while we've been able to say that we actually have some good enough depth. And obviously Kiwi are coming in the next couple of days will be brilliant. I've also heard that we're trying to sign a right back from Valladolid, because I think Cedric's moving to Fulham. So again, yeah, there's more depth for you, and I like it. It's a little bit of ruthlessness. It's a little bit of, maybe we're going to have to hurt some players' feelings, just to win. But that's them's the breaks, really. You know what I mean? In terms of Arsenal, look, we're 8 points clear, lads. Do you know what I mean? We've had so many curveballs thrown at us. From, Liverpool at home, beating them 3-2. Chelsea away, which was obviously a place that we hadn't really had a great success on. 1-1-0, dominated them. Even Newcastle to an extent. Look, we didn't concede, but we didn't score either. you know, these are games that we've absolutely stepped up in, and even the North London Derby recently, obviously we hadn't won in Spurs for probably to the guts of a decade, and here we are now after arguably one of the best performances of the year at White Hart Lane. So I feel like Arsenal obviously have a good bit of momentum. They have fantastic momentum. What am I even saying? And obviously, you look, United coming off a draw against Palace, but they should have won it, really, shouldn't they? It was just, I did think the penalty that they could have got was soft, but you know, they shouldn't really be relying on that. But we all know Man United is a threat, you know, and Erik ten Hag is a fantastic manager. But we also know that Mikel Arteta is just as good as a manager, if not better, than Erik ten Hag. That's just my opinion. But anyway, in terms of a score prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I do think United are capable of scoring against our defence, but I think we're capable of scoring more. So that's my reasoning. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. Hopefully I'm right. At least hopefully we'll be on the right end of the scoring. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. My name is Niall from Good for Glory. Bye-bye for now.